Everyone in the real estate industry celebrates those agents that are doing 30, 40, 50 transactions a year as they kind of climb that ladder of being a top producing agent. But what they don't understand is not the awards, not the accolades, not all of the, transaction posts. What people don't understand is most agents, depending on their revenue ratios, are 1 or 2 months away from their income going to zero and major problems. So today we're going to dive into this, and I'm going to help you figure out a better way to do this business on your terms right here, right now. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane with the Real Estate Agent Playbook. I help agents scale their business, doing business on their own terms. If that's something that you feel like you're on this rat race and you can't just get past that scale, you can't reach that next goal because otherwise the revenue takes a hit, we're diving in. If you're interested in learning more about 100% my organic lead generation, hit the subscribe button, reach out, book a game plan call, and we can go from there. All right, let's dive in. The illusion of GCI and all of the things that go into it. The truth is, the general public and even most agents don't understand, as you scale, the different costs that come out of it. And at the end of the day, GCI doesn't matter much by the time Uncle Sam takes their money. Your business costs are going up because you have more. And then it's just a delegation game. Okay, how much time can I put into this and still get the same result and slowly increase my actual revenue? That's where the game changes. So if you have top line income through your GCI, but every time you do something, the revenue's, slowing down, the photos get more expensive, the, social media manager gets more expensive, everything gets more expensive, the buyer's agents for showings, the marketing, the staging, all of that all goes into it, and that comes out of that GCI number. So we need to dial in the revenue. How much does it actually cost you as a listing agent or as a buyer's agent? We'll use listing agent just because there's more out-of-pocket costs for that are more tangible versus gas and time and all of that on the buy side. So as we're looking at this, what does it actually take? Can you, as one person in this industry, manage 10, 15, 20 listings? The truth is, maybe, but probably not. Because as days on market has grown, I've had this conversation with the top of the top agents. And the truth is, it's a struggle. And the reason is because we're not great at organizing a system and actually, protecting that revenue. It's just like, okay, outsource it, refer that deal out, do this, do that. And all of that takes your, actual net income, and it's under attack. And so as we open this up, the illusion of the GCI, 500,000 GCI, a million GCI, that's absolutely the case. And the truth is, when we could put houses on the market and we were confident they were going to sell for whatever price that, the market brought to us, those days are gone. Now it takes a strategic approach, which in turn costs more money, right? This mixed with, all of the news about the commission lawsuits and all of that, where the truth is, I saw a report today that agent commission has gone up overall, which is complete opposite of what the general public thinks and what all these other companies are telling you. But as we scale the deals, it just becomes exhausting, right? We're having to do more. We're having to have a longer timeline. It's not just a turn and burn, which is perfect, right? As an agent, your unique value proposition is something that needs to, take hold. But let's talk about this. There is a ceiling in this industry, 24 deals, 30 deals. There's a lot of people that get to that point, and no matter what that number is, based on the bandwidth of the agent, there is a ceiling. So as we go, we know that time is limited, right? Our time, our energy, our effort, and separating ourselves into, more and more as we continue to grow, we continue to have that lead generation, but the transactions just aren't getting to the closing table. That's where things get tough. And so we want to look and take a deep dive into this 30 deal ceiling so that we can understand exactly what we have to do as an agent to scale. Is it start a team? Is it start your own brokerage? Because with a team becomes more overhead, more responsibility, more liability. With a brokerage, even further. And so this is something that we have to sort out as agents. And with all of this technology and all of this stuff coming down the pipe, there is certainly an end in sight, but we can't take this technology and just have a one size fits all and make it happen. Or can we? So as an agent, we need to look at our output, and are we able to play the role of admin, to play the marketing director, to play the showing agent, to play the negotiator all at once? It's possible, but we better have our systems extremely dialed in. Most agents, especially at the 30 deal marker, have figured out a transaction coordinator is worth its weight in gold. However, how about the other stuff, the marketing stuff, the videos, the photos, all of the things that we put into this, that not to mention the time of helping another human actually manage the stress of a real estate transaction. As agents, as top producers, we've always been taught, more time, focus in, we got to do this. And then we're taking time away from the exact reason that most people get into the business. I want to have more free time. I want to have time freedom. We all know that that's a little bit of a myth, especially early on in your career, because you do have to put in the time. You do have to put in the effort so you can understand what needs to go in these systems to help you scale. So here's what we need to do. We need to look at our real estate business as not just an agent, not just somebody who can manage relationships really well, but look at actual time that it costs, and time versus hourly cost. Right? The $15 an hour cost, we do need to delegate. But then what do we do with that $15 an hour task that we've now delegated? What are we doing with the replacement? And that's where agents struggle, right? It's not just delegate, set it and forget it, right? We need to take that time and put it back into our, $500 an hour tasks. Those are the things that agents that we have done as expert lead generators and expert relationship managers, we have to take that time and put it away. So yes, I'm here to tell you that the delegation absolutely has to be strategic. And I think that there's this weird thing in our industry that it's just like, okay, here we go. We're going to go all in. We're going to make this happen. And, okay, I've reached this point, so now I can hire a buyer's agent. I can give them 50% of the deal. Okay, but if there's no system, if they can't do and act like you do and convert like you do, then that's the problem. So some of those client-facing relationship times, we need to understand and put those at a higher level, a higher income bracket. And it's not just like, okay, I'm dividing my total income by this many hours because that's how many hours I worked in a year and this is what it is. And if it's below that threshold, I'm gonna, delegate it out. No. We have to step back and understand, okay, what are our $15 tasks versus our, $500 an hour tasks? So then we need to find somebody that can actually do those tasks at the same level or a higher level that we can, that is willing to do it for, whatever that number is, $15, $20, $30 an hour, and make sure that we're doing that. But here's where the audit comes in. We have to make sure that when we are replacing some of our time dedicated to the business, we need to make sure that we are taking that time and not scrolling social media, not looking at all the other things that everybody else is doing, but putting it into our zone of genius so that we can start doing the $500 an hour tasks more. Because at the end of the day, as the real estate agent, as the team lead, as whatever you are, you have to understand that you have something special. You have to incorporate what you have that's special and implement it right away. Because now we're like, okay, great. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, something shiny, new business, or, oh, something shiny. Like I have more free time. So I'm going to take this time that I've just allocated and I'm not going to really dial it in and use it for that $500 activity. So this is the first thing. And it's going to take some upfront honesty. It's going to take, some real discipline to make sure that as we delegate these tasks off, we are stealing back that time and implementing it into our business in a way that allows us to be the superstar, that allows us to be more personable, to be the person that is pouring into more of these relationships. Because if I have all this time, right, because I've saved it from content creation, or I've saved it from, the marketing tasks, or organizing the people that come through a listing, or all of those things, then I, as the agent, have to take that time saved and put it into more income producing activities, the things that are going to give us the highest rate of return. And that's where the audit process is hard. First and foremost, we have a really hard time as humans to say, okay, like, this is what I'm going to do, because we've worked so hard, right? There's this whole I've earned it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the conversations with agents every single day. I've been in this for 30 years and blah, 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 blah. The truth is, it doesn't matter. 30 years ago, this industry was moving at a snail's pace compared to what it's doing now. So that doesn't matter. So for you new agents that are watching this, and you're like, dang, right, I got into this and it's a whole different ballgame. Great. If that's you, comment below and tell me how you're feeling right now, because here's the truth. The playing field is leveled, right? There's so much new stuff coming out with AI agents and all of the things that we need to make sure that we are utilizing these tools to get back that time that we absolutely need. And that's exactly what we are building at Prop AI, which is some serious, focused in, delegatable agents that are going to help you with your business. If you want to get on the wait list for this, if this sounds good, there's a wait list, right? Why? Because we're not building it just to put it out there. We're not speeding it to the market so that it's just going to be a thing. It's going to be, a safe, right? First and foremost, please, if you're watching this and you're all over Claude and all of the other things and just giving full access to all of your data, be very careful with that. OpenClaw, all of these things. If they have full access to your computer or your logins or all of these different things, that's going to be a problem. You're putting yourself at risk for other things that'll, again, take a lot more of your time to focus in and get that fixed. Next, we need to make sure that we're leveraging the right things, and that the agents themselves, agents or humans, assistants, whatever, are doing the job at our level or higher, so that we can take that time back. And it's not necessarily, set it and forget it, but maybe it's a 1 hour task. Maybe it's a 1 hour, meeting with your agents or your support staff to make sure that that's all still working as it needs to. And that's where things really get crazy, right? Because the truth is, there is a wealth building opportunity here with all of this technology, but a lot of us are taking a lot of time to build out things that we maybe aren't, best suited to build out, whether it's because we don't have the experience on the real estate side, we don't have the experience on the tech side, whatever that is. We need to make sure that we are 100% focused on the time that we've allocated and pulling that back. And so once we have this opportunity and we've replaced ourselves in those $15 an hour tasks, then we have to definitely take a look and say, okay, this is a strategy. Why, have we stopped looking at just our next closing? How have we given ourselves the support that we need to make sure that the next closings are coming? That's where it really comes in. And then we need to make sure, okay, here we are, right? We've all been here, 2021 through 2023, or 2020 even through 2023. Those were gravy years. We could roll out of bed. We could, support our clients. And if we did it at a high level, we were going to get a ton of referrals because anybody could, purchase a home with the low interest rates and so on. And that just isn't the case. So now what are we looking at? Now, what are we doing with the money that does come in? Are we reinvesting it? Do we have some revenue share model within our industry that we can, pull back on? Certainly, EXP, the cloud-based brokerages, have changed the game here so that we can now, maybe it's not the revenue that we're investing, but maybe it's our time. Maybe we can serve more agents at a higher level by offering some of these trainings and some of this mindset to help our agents that have chosen to partner with us to do the same things that we are. But if we are living paycheck to paycheck, we are super stressed out because it's just the next commission check and it's the next commission check. Well, first of all, you're going to build a little bit slower. But second of all, what do we have to offer? Right? If we're just pushing these agents to grind and grind and grind and do this stuff for us, and we're not getting the return and we're not pouring it in to actually long-term revenue streams or, investments or whatever that looks like, that's where the game changes, right? When you can take it and say, okay, production, my number one lead source, right? That's my number one income. Great, let's go. We're going to make sure that that is all systematized and appropriate. And then we can take that income and we can invest it in real estate. We can invest it into the stock market. We can invest it into our teams. We can invest it into our agents. Whatever that looks like, that's where we need to understand that we have to create this revenue stream that's reoccurring, right? If you have a system and you're doing it and you're still doing the things to pour more people into whatever database is creating the most amount of money for you, that's where it changes. So at the end of the day, we cannot create more time. What we can do is utilize our time in the most effectively way possible to make sure that not only are we getting to that next, closing or relationship that's going to be a referral source or whatever, but everything on the back end is handled correctly and as we would see it. And human nature, I'm telling you right now, if it's another human on the other end doing these tasks that you're replacing, well, they're going to want more money and they might not be able to do it the same as you. No human is exactly the same in personality and so on. So that's why some of this technology could be your major opportunity to get out of the burnout and get out of the opportunities, that are taking your time and sucking your energy and so on. Because I've had conversations, as you know, with agents who are just like, can't do it. I'm going to go get a job. It's fine, whatever. Well, the truth is that no job or no career is going to be able to suit that top producer income, that freedom of income that was coming in over the good years. So we need to look at ourselves and say, okay, let's organize this a little bit better. Maybe that does mean a change to a different model, a different revenue stream where you can open that up because you've systematized this so well. And the truth is, if we're sitting back and we're doing all these $15 an hour tasks because that's just how it is and we have to have this element of control, it's just not possible. So if you're hitting that 30 deal ceiling and you want to have a conversation, okay, it's time, right? I've reached top producer status, whatever that means. Do I start a team? Do I start my own brokerage? Do I move to a different brokerage that has revenue stream opportunities? That's great. Or I'm going to tell you right now that we need to start with your production process and your systems and say, okay, that's awesome, but are we doing too many $15 an hour tasks to get this return? How can we solve this problem? And it's not a one size fits all. Some people will be team leads, some people will be broker owners, some people will hire a slew of AI agents. But before you do that, let's have a conversation and see what actual process it is. Because if we're not measuring what actually our time's going to, what our energy is going to, and what we like to do, then burnout is imminent. And that's where we want to make that change, right? Whether it's getting dialed in on a CRM, we got one of those. Whether it's hiring AI agents, we got some of that. Whether it's delegating to a human, we got some of that. And this isn't like a major push to, completely AI your business, because the truth is that the relationships matter. As humans, we do not want to be sold to by a robot. We don't want to be called by a robot. We don't want to do anything else. But if the back end is so flawless, then we'll deal with the robots, right? If the robots are doing the back end flawlessly and I have a human-to-human conversation with my agent, then that is just more value, more opportunity to show your value to your clients, to your revenue share organization, to your brokerage, to your team. So if that's you, I first want you to hear that you're not alone, and everyone is going through this as the market shifts, as technology advances so quickly. Everyone is sitting back being like, okay, what do I do? We have this immediate feel of overwhelm. And that's where I want to help you understand that we can solve this problem, and we have a ton of technology. We have a ton of options, especially in our industry, to make this process your own. So if you're interested in learning more, comment overwhelm below and I will reach out to you directly. You can send me a text message, 303-210-0378, and we can have a conversation that will help you understand exactly what's going on for you in your business right here, right now. Can't wait to chat with you, but start with your processes and your systems, and let's get those dialed in so that moving forward, the lead generation isn't the biggest stressor, because you can put the exact time into your zone of genius and allow for some of the other stuff to come pretty easily. We'll talk soon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go.